Hi, John Madden in little pueblo in Mexico called El Diamante. And I'm still plugged into my U.S. roots and have been listening a lot today, catching up on the news I've missed in the last week. And on Saturday edition, weekend edition Saturday, yesterday, there was a story that I think all Americans ought to be aware of. Especially anybody who wonders if the history of slavery is still relevant in the U.S. today. A genealogical study found that 1/4 of sitting U.S. senators are descended from slaveholders. Think about that. A quarter descended from slaveholders. Now that doesn't mean a direct correlation, doesn't mean that affects who they are these days. And the authors of the study are very clear about saying they're not responsible for what their ancestors did 100 years ago or more. But they're also saying that what needs to happen is for us to be aware that a history of owning slaves seems to still help you reach the halls of power in America, that there's a direct pipeline. We're next to a very busy road. It's a pueblo of 500 people, 300 people, and a very busy road runs through it along the eastern corridor of Mexico from north to south. So they need to be willing to examine to what extent coming from a family history like that might have shaped their values and who they are these days and the way they think about diversity issues. This guy's gonna be noisy. And they said that one of the things that was disturbing was the number of politicians who, when they were very politely and thoughtfully apprised of the situation in a letter and reaching out to them, could we have a conversation with you about this? The number of politicians who just didn't want to talk about it. Just not willing to talk about it. Nope. Off. It's not something I'll consider. Tammy Duckworth from Illinois, the opposite. So proud of her always. What a hero she is. She said she had not been aware of this at all. Most of them have not been. She said, well, I regularly tout the fact that my family goes back to the American Revolution and that I had ancestors who belonged to the Daughters of the American Revolution. So if I'm going to keep saying that, I've got to include this now. I've got to talk with people, with my constituents, about what this means about me. So, food for thought, folks, in America on the 4th of July weekend.